Hey there YouTube, Raj here, I hope you guys are doing well, and today I have a review for you on a fragrance from the French designer brand of Givenchy, and this one is called Givenchy, no it's not, it's called Gentleman Givenchy. So I'm going to mention the name in a second, but I'm already confused. So this is I had a couple of samples, so this is how one of them looks, and you've got the full size bottle, or a picture of the full-size bottle inside. So yeah, the name, that's the first place to start. So there seems to be this recent trend with designer brands of coming out with a new fragrance that has the name of, sometimes the same name, or something similar, to a fragrance that was released decades ago. So decades ago, I don't know exactly which year, maybe the 70s, Givenchy came out with a fragrance called Gentleman, which is a really nice fragrance. And now they've come out with quite a few in the line called Gentleman Givenchy. So it's a little bit confusing, but I mean, you know, if you just look at this bottle, that's the best way I think of remembering what this fragrance is. So yeah, anyway, it's a really good fragrance. I'm really impressed with this. I think it's one of the better designer releases I've certainly smelled in a few years. They describe it on the Givenchy website as a woody floral oriental. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. In the top notes there's pepper and lavender, and in the hearse there's Orris and Tolu balsam, I've heard it called, or balm. Yeah. In the base notes there's patchouli and black vanilla. So there are some deeper, so we say more, I don't want to say dark, but maybe heavier notes in this. But I think the way that this fragrance is composed is that it retains this airiness, this lightness that is all the way through the fragrance, but there is some depth into this fragrance that I actually really like. Performance, yeah, I don't normally start with performance, but performance is quite good actually. I get around 7 hours. It's not a screamer on your skin, but I don't really want this type of fragrance to be just projecting all over the place. It is one that still, people have to come into your you know, just your around you to really pick up on the scent, but it has a little bit of push and it lasts a long time, so no complaints there. Cooler weather I feel, but yeah, you know, spring, autumn, winter, but summer, even though I've never worn it in summer, I imagine it would work quite well on summer evenings. So some good versatility there. In terms of seasons, you know, I would probably wear this to more if you're going out. I did wear this a few times to work. It's absolutely fine, but I just think that when you're going out for a dinner, going out for drinks, this is probably the best. Those are the best occasions to wear Gentleman Givenchy. This is an eau de parfum, by the way. Yeah, it feels masculine, but I feel there's no reason why a woman couldn't wear this. The fact that it's got the word gentleman in the line means that because of marketing, more men are going to be, more men are going to try this fragrance. But I think it's kind of in the middle, leaning slightly masculine though. So yeah, seasons, and I think I've mentioned all that, projection. Yeah, okay, so going on to what does this fragrance smell like? Well, what I really liked about this fragrance is that it has a nice amount of depth, as I mentioned. So it has the sweeter vanillic notes in there, but without going off on that typical annoying sweetness that a lot of designer fragrances have. There is a powderiness to this fragrance, which must be coming from a mixture of the iris and the lavender. There is also the sweetness, as I mentioned as well, and there's a hint of pepper, that black pepper, giving it a slightly spicy quality, but nothing too overwhelming. I don't really know what is making this fragrance light, like in terms of, in a compositional nature, it isn't really like this thick cloud of fragrance. It has a lightness to it. I don't really know exactly where that's coming from, but I do know that I like it. There's a slight freshness to this fragrance that is a nice contrast to the more deeper notes, such as the patchouli and the vanilla and the orris, or the iris as well. Yeah, it's actually quite simplistic in many ways. There is a little bit of depth in there, but it's nothing too complex. You don't really have to like spend hours trying to figure out what's going on in this fragrance. I think it's just good quality ingredients, nothing too fancy. something that's quite easy to just pick up when you're going out, do a couple of sprays, and you're good for a good few hours. And yeah, I think they've actually done a really nice job with this fragrance. I'm quite impressed, actually. It does remind me of a couple of fragrances. The one that it reminds me the most of is actually Dior Homme. This really gives me the feeling of that sweet, woody, floral elements that you find in Dior Homme. I think that Dior Homme does it with a lot more refinement, and the quality of the ingredients are a little bit better. Also, I like the fact that there's a cocoa note in Dior Homme. This one doesn't have it, but it is still, I wouldn't say a copy, but it's still worth owning on its own. Like, you can have Dior Homme and you can have Gentleman Givenchy. I don't think it's redundant. I also feel like it's similar in style, not in terms of the notes, but similar to Tom Ford's Noir, where you get this sweet, powdery, slightly spicy, very much an evening wear type fragrance, very much a fragrance when you're wearing maybe a darker suit. Yeah, it fits those types of like environments or that style. So I think it's a really good fragrance and definitely worth checking out. I'm going to give this one a rating of 8 out of 10. It is, I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but it is one of the better designer releases that I've tried in actually quite a long time. So definitely worth checking out. Guys, let me know what you think about Gentleman Givenchy. Are you confused by the name? Do you like what you smell? Is it something that's full bottle worthy? What about Givenchy as a brand? You know, I think they do have some good stuff in there, but good fragrances, but it's not really a brand I've explored too much, but there's definitely some quality. Do they sell Givenchy Pie? Yeah, Givenchy Pie, of course. Yeah, that's the first Givenchy fragrance I used to own. And what else do they have, actually? I'm just looking on their website. Play, oh yeah, I used to own Play Intense, which was a quite a kind of sweet woody fragrance. Givenchy Pour Homme, oh yeah, I think I remember, I don't know, I think I need to explore Givenchy a little bit more or delve back into them. So anyway guys, let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button and subscribe if you like what you see, and also check me out on Instagram. And yeah, drop a comment down below, whatever you have to say it. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for the support. Take care. See ya.